Tennessee High Court says pot smell a factor in probable cause. We've talked about this before where when hemp was legalized, all these dogs that were trained to hit on cannabis and particularly the terpenes out of it had to be retired. Well, Tennessee brought a dog into a traffic stop, and the dog hit on the car, and the two occupants of the car were denying that the bag that they found weed in was there, so they were acting kind of suspiciously. When the dog hit on it, they did a search, found the weed, and they arrested the guy who was the most suspicious of them, and they started a criminal case against him. Well, the criminal court granted a motion to exclude the evidence because the dog hit on it, and the dog's trained to smell what? Something that's legal. If it's legal and they smell it, it's not probable cause. And so the trial court threw the case out. Well, the state wasn't satisfied with that, went to the appellate court, and their court of criminal appeals reversed it and said under the totality of the circumstances, dog hitting was just one factor in giving the cops probable cause, suspicious activity. Oh, and also when the cop stuck his head in the car, he smelled an odor. Now the odor turned out to be a pine, disinfectant, whatever you put on your rear view mirror.
Simple Green?
Yeah, I don't know what it was. It certainly wasn't weed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm reading this thing. Oh, they smelled an odor. What? An odor of pine in the car? Okay, that's not weed. Dog hit on it. Okay, dog's trained to smell marijuana. Well, if it's hemp, it still smells like marijuana. But the appellate court overturned it, and it was appealed to the state Supreme Court, and that's what they just announced. I think they published it on the 27th, that they find under the totality of the circumstances, the dog hitting on the car was enough to give the officers probable cause to search. Now, this is mind-boggling to me, but it's from Tennessee, so I'm not sure what to expect out of Tennessee. I don't want to disparage anybody there, but they're fucking dumb as a box of rocks to think that this is okay. And I would encourage this defendant who's looking at whatever onerous time they're going to give him in Tennessee for weed to take this to the U.S. Supreme Court, because I think that there are several people on the court that are looking for a way to poke holes in the way cannabis has been treated, especially this idea that you can bring in dogs to make probable cause when the smell of marijuana is no longer an illegal thing to hit on. It used to be that anytime a cop or a dog smelled marijuana was automatically probable cause to search. Here in California, that got thrown in the trash a long time ago. And the reasoning behind it is sound. So I'm hoping that somebody takes this Tennessee decision, excuse me, and takes it up to the U.S. Supreme Court, because dogs that are trained to hit on multiple drugs, I'm suspicious of anyway. Okay, how do you train a dog to hit on heroin and fentanyl and weed and meth and coke? I mean, come on. You can get these dogs to give them a magic sign, they'll hit on damn near anything. I don't particularly like dogs in this situation unless they're going to chase somebody down that's trying to get away and grab them by their pant legs. Now, this is an aberration in the states. Most states have not allowed these dogs to be part of probable cause. But Tennessee, for whatever reason, and I got my suspicions, having relationships with your relatives is not a good thing to read a good social order in the state. But I'm going to throw this back at you guys. What do you think about this? And I'm going to get some hate mail now from Tennessee, but you know what? I don't give a fuck. This is a bad decision.
It'll be poorly spelled. It'll be poorly spelled, so you'll have fun sounding it out. It'll be all right.
Oh, man. Low jabs, low jabs, low jabs.
So, what's going to take, so many different states, like their Supreme Courts are deciding that this is unconstitutional, like just searching based on smell. So when's it going to give?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to take the U.S. Supreme Court, Rachelle.
Yep.
That's why I'm encouraging these people to take this really stupid decision. and take it up, because this was a 5-0. It was unanimous. Everyone said, oh, yeah, the dog's going to give you probable cause. No, it's not. The dog's sniffing its ass and going right to your car and saying, oh, we smell weed? No. Stop it.
Especially not the Tennessee weed. I mean, I think that like we're looking at the South, and once again, the South is doing what the South does, going back in time. And until we don't have that whole generation of the South's going to rise again, good old boys redneck system, we're going to continue to see ignorant rulings like this coming out of those 13 states, unfortunately.
13 states.
I'm counting I'm counting some other ones. I'm just going to leave names out of this. But, you know, the entirety of the South is ass backwards. Georgia, my home state, not doing anything positive. You just let Kim Rogers come in and sell you a bunch of essentially THCA capsules. So tell me again how we're doing something positive.
THCA is positive.
Tennessee was a big mover. They were a big mover earlier in the THCA movement. They were hard and heavy. So, shout out to the volunteers.
It's just amazing to me, though, how they can make a decision like this and buy the THCA is not weed. Like, come on. Get your head out of your ass and look around and talk to a chemist, somebody who's experienced in this. All you have to do is heat it up, and it's what you smoke in your pipe.
Yeah, until you burn it, it's not what they're looking for, technically. Just saying.
They don't know what they're looking for because they're ignorant, and they're just thinking that the dogs are going to find it. I mean, I only want to see dogs being used in police work to find missing kids and people, and to, you know,
like
stop people who are actually going to harm someone. Yeah, like cadaver dogs, like the Malinois that will bite your ass. Like,
what about like
that?
What about like the Beagle Brigade? You know what I mean? That are agricultural dogs.
That's cute. They're finding like the morel mushrooms. Fine with that. I love Australia. You know, I love dogs. They're better than people, but like we need to stop the police dog work. It's crazy.
Fair enough. Fair enough. We're going to go into our next commercial, and we're going to be right back.